morning, I will be presenting a case brief regarding the stolen vehicle investigation that was called in on January 30th, 2026 by the victim, David Cuddy. This investigation is in regards to Cuddy's Gold 2013 Chrysler Town and Country van. Reporting Officer Jay Thurman met with Mr. Cuddy the day he called it in, where Cuddy stated that he had allowed an individual who he knew as Ace to borrow his vehicle on January 28th, 2026, with the understanding that his vehicle would be returned to him within a reasonable time frame. However, the vehicle was not returned, and Cuddy stated that he would like to press charges against Ace. During the investigation, Cuddy provided text messages between him and Ace in which the suspect admits to having possession of the vehicle. However, the suspect continuously delays the return of it and provides false locations for the vehicle. On February 2nd, 2026, the Defuniak Police Department located and recovered the stolen vehicle. A witness, Leslie Cohen, was found in the passenger seat of the car, which was parked outside of a motel in their city. Ms. Cohen was arrested on an unrelated warrant. Through an interview, Ms. Cohen identified Ace as her neighbor with the real name Jason Smith, and she stated he lives in 123 Main Street, Apartment B. She also stated that Smith has an Ace of Spades tattoo on his left forearm and confirmed that he was the sole driver of the car for the past few days. Cohen reported that Smith claimed he was in the process of purchasing the car from a friend and had just been test driving it for the past few days. Cohen also stated that Smith had totaled his own vehicle about 2 weeks prior and had been relying on others for transportation. Cohen observed that Smith was receiving multiple phone calls and text messages within the time she was in the car, which lined up with the text messages and calls he was receiving from the victim, David Cuddy. However, Cohen stated he eventually ignored these notifications by turning off his phone. Moving forward, I would attempt to locate Jason Smith by using the address Leslie Cohen provided, and I would look into law enforcement databases I have available to me to see if there is a Jason Smith on any arrest records with the Ace of Spades tattoo on his forearm that Ms. Cohen described. To prepare for the interrogation with Mr. Smith, I would gather and review all of the evidence I have against him, such as the text messages between him and the victim, as well as the witness statement. In doing this, I would establish a clear timeline of the events and would have a true understanding of the case. I would also research Jason Smith's background, such as prior criminal history, just to have an understanding of his recent behavioral patterns. I would gather information about his accident that totaled his car 2 weeks prior to the incident, along with gathering information about where he works and the places he goes to often to perhaps show sympathy for him for how hard it must be to get around without a car. I would be well prepared going into the interrogation, considering that I know what his defense is going to be, that being that he was purchasing the car from a friend, and I would challenge his claims with the evidence I have against him, such as the text messages Cuddy provided. These text messages show that Smith had possession of the vehicle and was delaying its return to the owner, which under Florida Statute Section 812.014, the suspect's actions meet the legal definition of grand theft.